Oh, hey guys, welcome to. I have to wait a few seconds. The shit show. That is my channel. Okay, I had to make sure I was going live on the old YouTube. So we're going to talk about things today, not so much watch videos. So after covering Travis Hines, who changed his name, but it was exchange IDs with Travis Hines, yada yada. And another video, another guy kept saying, "Hey, let's just switch. You get my ID, I get your ID." We're going to talk about how that is a terrible fucking idea. I've got two stories lined up. This probably isn't going to be a long live stream. Just wanted to hang out for a little while and talk about some serious stuff. I spelled information wrong on the thumbnail. I probably did. I'm not going to lie. Everything has spell check except for Canva, which will screw you over the first time it gets the chance. Has anybody ever exchanged IDs with Travis? I hope not. I'm not going to lie. I hope not. Let's see here. The first one, do you guys want to start with the bad one or the funny one where I hope the cops get everything they're asking for? Serious one or a quite comical one? Let's see here. Now you got me going to Canva to check my thumbnail. I'm all paranoid about this nonsense now. I did, you're right. But since we have the technology, we're just going to information. There we go. And just like that, it can be fixed. Let's see what you guys decided to do here. Comical. Okay, we'll do the comical one first. It's not comical. It was still shitty for the cop, his family. And again, I hope the cop and his family get everything they're asking for. I kind of saw this earlier today, read through a bit, thought, that's kind of interesting. Let's cover this. Okay, so it started. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this over here so I can actually see what's going on in chat. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. There we go. So this is going to be a jaywalker, of all things, who was giving a whopping $196 ticket for said jaywalking. Let me see if I can get and do this real quick before we get too far into this. Now I got to change the thumbnail, adding a letter, because Canva wants me to fail, apparently. All right. Bang, and just like that, the thumbnail is changed. Saving. Okay. So like I said, we're going to go into this. It is a jaywalker launched a campaign of revenge. You've seen this in a few videos that I've covered, other people have covered, where frauditors, if they have a grudge against you, the police, the prosecutor, the judges, they will go out of their way to hold you accountable for nothing while trying to get themselves off the hook for whatever they did. Now, again, this is jaywalking, and we're just going to go through what this jaywalker did to this officer and his family. And you guys are probably going to agree that this officer deserves to get every penny that he's asking for. A man waged a revenge campaign against an officer over a $196 jaywalking ticket. And him and his family are suing him for $16.5 million, citing distress and privacy invasion. God, this happened in Fresno. Not quite shocked. It sounds like the revenge campaign that Chile started when an officer stopped him and found GHB on him. Yes, there's a Dodge Ram commercial. Not shocked by that. But yeah, so this guy told police that he was harassing this officer online. I love the way they worded this. Instead of taking it on the chin, he launched a campaign of revenge, which including filing false police reports about him. And here's where the frauditor angle and everything comes in with filing. For real, though, jaywalking is a ticket. Yeah, jaywalking normally isn't a thing. But I think it's funny that this guy was giving a jaywalking ticket and then decided to do this. It's expected to go to trial next year. According to the local outlet, the officer, Brian Whelan, it was a cyber campaign of hate and revenge waged against him and his family. I'm literally only here for what this guy did to the officer. Okay, gave him a ticket for violating section California's vehicle code. Under the code, jaywalking carries a fine of $196 plus court administrative fees and assessments. He was visibly upset when he was detained. Okay, so right off the bat, he was strange, personal, and vaguely threatening questions about the officer's address and whether he had children. You see this a ton where they decide they're going to go after your children. Got to come back into focus. There we go. Okay. You got to... They try to come after your children when they know that they can't get to you. Is he a soft sit? I'm not going to say yes or no, but the way he's coming at the officer, I'm going to say super soft sit or super frauder. All right, so 4 days after this nonsense happened, the officer started receiving password reset codes, which suggested attempts were being made to hack into his personal email account. Strike one. Then a flood of text calls and emails from car dealerships responding to information requests about purchasing cars that the officer never made. That's strike two. And the officer had more than 100 texts on his personal phone concerning inquiries he had never initiated. Now, frauditors, sovereign citizens are going to be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Too bad. He's a public figure. He deserves it. If you get a ticket, I don't care what your ticket's for. You should never, yeah, it sounds like he is. You should never go at somebody's children just because you're trying to get away with little shit. Well, it gets a lot worse. It gets a lot worse. So this is just dumb shit. Like, yes, you're trying to hack my email for God knows what reason. You're intentionally having other people harass me for random shit. Oh, God. Hope you're doing okay. I know he was talking to me about it, and I saw his post. I hope you're doing okay. Everybody over here is good. This is where it starts getting bad. The lawsuit says that this dude filed 2 false police reports against the officer. One, not terrible. It's a hit and run. They found it not to be true. Immediately, they should have taken the person who made the false complaint, said, right to jail. And that's what, strike 3. The next one is they called in alleging that the officer's wife was a victim of domestic violence. And when they investigated, it was also found false. So again, right to jail. And now he starts harassing the officer's wife, of all people, claiming that their computer camera had been hacked and compromised videos of them would be released unless they met certain demands. I'm going to see here, I don't think the demands were on there. Then he got the officer's water and trash services turned off on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving, obviously being a holiday for everyone to have people over or you to leave and go somewhere else, that's going to fuck up your holiday. This is the biggest part, which kind of leads into the next story. So he was found in a mile away from the officer's home with a loaded .38 caliber revolver, which was not registered to him, and he did not have a license to carry. Again, this part, remember that part, that's what's going to lead us on to the next story, because that one, again, is much more serious and much worse. Then it says the hospital he worked at fired him that same day for finding out he had used his laptop to carry out the revenge campaign. And now the officer, his wife, and his daughter all three are seeking $5.5 million. Which, again, would be hilarious. Greg, for 5 KFARR memberships, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Oh, Navy girl. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. You're not gonna be around for a while because some creep has been threatening you in several different comment sections. Has your real name. That seems to be a tactic going around not only the drama community but the frauditing community as well. They will harass anyone simply because they support someone who exposed them. They themselves exposed them. They told them the truth. They'll try to dox you and put out your information so that people can harm you. It's kind of disgusting. So yeah, so this is this is why you should never. I'm trying to think of the correct way to word this. The why you shouldn't exchange information with yada yada. So there needs to be a better way of protecting government employees' information. Whether it's not, again, I enjoy transparency. But there's a point in which transparency gets you and your family hurt for simply doing nothing but holding a criminal like responsible. Yeah, Blackheart Night. We've got jackets. You can join the club. It started from Liberty Trolls post. Funny story, you say that. I got a person from Liberty Troll. It was on my post that I made about him. His name's like DTJ or JDJT or something. He came on just talking nonsense, trying to like defend the people that I cover. And I'm like, if you want to defend domestic terrorists, people on the registry, and wife beaters, like that looks bad on you, not on me. Like you can keep that shit up. And then I got another one. You guys have probably seen him. His name's like Dan something. Shit. He's trying to put all my personal information out there, and it's just like, you're late to the party, bro. But yeah, so this was from Yahoo News. We're going to jump to the other one. This is from New Jersey. And the New Jersey judge, let me exit out of that before I, come on, get off my screen. Oh, you know what? I turned off my ad blocker because YouTube was mad at me about it. So this one is going to be a New Jersey federal judge whose son was killed and husband shot speaks out and calls for better protections. This was when I believe it was a lawyer. It was a lawyer found out where she lived. I don't know what the beef was between them. Let's read a little bit here. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, this guy, he decided he was going to go to this judge's house, shoot her son and husband while posing as a delivery driver. And I'm really trying to see like what the reasoning behind it was. They found him heaped over in a corner. It is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't say the reasoning. I actually came across this because I was listening to not even a podcast. I was just going through the shorts. And apparently this lawyer was actually trying to sue a comedian because the comedian was just dogging him one day. Went to court. The judge was like, you're an idiot. Fucking dismissed. And then right after that, he went and did this to the judge. And the comedian's like, this could have been me. Yeah, it seems like it's too easy for criminals to get people's information in general. Like you should not be able to find out where a police officer lives. You should not be able to find out where a federal judge lives. I believe in one of my last live streams, or it might have been the last one where I covered Travis Hines, they were talking about how their department or the FBI like had their shit linked to PO boxes, or they had their like information said that they lived at the police department. So if anything happened, they would come to the police department to try to find them instead of their actual home where their family is. People can be unhinged, never take any threat lightly. Yeah, no, that's 1000% correct. Like everybody knows the story about with me, so I'm not gonna like harp on it too much. And then what just happened to Blackheart Night? Like, again, what glasses did I look at? Is it from a comment that I answered back on and then haven't looked at again yet? All these FOIAs need to stop. Like this is the thing. Like I'm fine with transparency, absolutely fine with it. If you want to FOIA the police officer's record and see if he has any complaints, his training history, sure, go for it. But there's too many things that lead back to, yep, this is their address. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I tell people this all the time. I'm never going to be the channel. I use Stoned Vet. We're not going to go get a beer on Tuesdays, but we're not like best friends. But like, if you want to be a subscriber of mine and come here, hang out, support me, and then you want to go over to Stone Vet and go over there and support him, you do you. I'm never going to be the guy to be like, if you're a fan of this person, then you can't be a fan of me. I'm never going to do that. But if you want to go and fucking hang out, like, I'm not going to. If you go, what's that guy's name who was watching Jeremiah Payne get arrested while he was live streaming with him at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning? That guy, do I think he's dumb? Yes. Am I going to go out, find out where he lives, and threaten his employer? Absolutely not. That's way too much effort to basically not do anything. But that's just messed up. Yeah, it's not like, again, it sounds bad, but I think anytime any public website or anything puts any addresses on there that are police officers, judges, yada, yada, it should immediately just poof, wiped from the internet. Indiana Auditor. Oh, yeah, he's 1000% a clown, but I'm not going to dig into him, find his name, find his mom's house, threaten his mom, yada, yada. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but they're so about that. It's so odd to me. Yeah, in Ohio, they can use the station's address. I 1000% think that should be the address. That's what subscribers are for. Hey, you watch Merv and Patrick Darcy. Why? Because you're an adult. Yeah, exactly. Script Cat, I could tell you, not either of those people. I know Merv doesn't like me for whatever reason, but it is what it is. I could say, hey, this person who runs this channel is a terrible human being. You should never go there, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you're an adult. You can do what you want. You have free will. Yeah, Liberty Troll basically doxed Blackheart Knight's entire existence, which again was extremely scummy. I'm going to stop sharing this for a second, and I'm going to Google the guy that's on the thumbnail, and I'm going to try to find Chauncey. Oh, that'd be hilarious if I actually got that dude's. Oh, shoot. All right, so we are going to. Oh, dear Lord. Lurker 1 for 5 memberships. Oh, thank you. So we've got 2 more. One is both of them are frauditors. Old school frauditors, like. Oh, so old school Schrodinger's cat was covering them. So we're going to go Eric Brandt, and what is his name? Chauncey Hollingberry. Hollingberry. I'm going to nuke that. You guys will probably remember his name, which was also just absolutely a shit show on YouTube. My email should be in the about section of my page somewhere. You're only... Oh, God. One day, Ed. One day. Steve is right here. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go to Chauncey, whatever, first, and then we're going to move to good old Eric Brandt to be like, this is exactly why this shit needs to be under lock and key, Fort Knox type shit. They focus more on redacting what info makes them look bad instead of ensuring social security number, phone number, and addresses are redacted. Exactly. So this, Mensa candidate Chauncey, whatever, who's 35. He looks like he's about 12. Was sentenced in district court to 60 months of probation because he was cyber stalking people. And it seems like, what is his name? I forgot who did it. You know what? It might have been him. He got into some trouble, and instead of handling it like an adult, he picked somebody that had to do with the case and decided to. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has a channel because they're pets. Exactly. But this guy decided he was going to pick one of the people that had to deal with this case and put out all their personal information about them. Encourages followers to assist him in harassing the victim. He also sent false and misleading emails about the victim to the victim's employers, colleagues, and members of the media. That's not terrible, but as you know, this guy has like a stupid short man complex and super angry all the time because, well, there's not really any reason. I'm going to show you a picture of this guy, and that'll probably jog your guys' memory a little bit. He is another one of those guys who, what is it here? Share this tab instead. That's Chauncey. Good old Chauncey. He's another one. If you guys know, Tyrants Beware, the guy who tried to swat me via CPS. Him and that guy apparently like to use the same mask because they like to hide their face. But yeah, that guy is super angry. Did all this nonsense. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Now let's jump to Eric Brandt. This is where it kind of gets, again, more dangerous than anything. His parents named him Chauncey, so it doesn't surprise me that he's so pissed off. You can see the meth decline. Somebody actually asked me today, if all of these channels have so many subscribers and get X amount of views, and as per Social Blade make like $100,000 or more a year, why do they all live in hovels? Why do they all drive shit boxes for cars? Why do they never have anything to show for their money? And I came up with, it's probably because most of them have some sort of a drug problem and or substance abuse problem. Yeah, this is good old Eric Brandt. He pled guilty. Pled guilty to retaliating against Colorado judge, has been sentenced to 12 years in prison. He pled guilty to 3 counts of retaliating against a judge in 3 separate cases. The fact that he had 3 separate cases, in Denver, Jefferson, and Adams County, in 3 different counties, 3 different cases, and you fucked up all of them. The Denver case happened in 2019. Brandt was charged with a felony for retaliation after he allegedly made several videos threatening a specific Denver County Court judge and called the judge's office saying that he thought the judge should be shot in front of his children. And this is why it comes full circle to the first story that I had, or the judge story that I had. The judge story and the first story equal Eric Brandt. The first guy was pulled over less than a mile from the officer's house with a handgun he wasn't supposed to have. And yeah, the second one, he made it to the judge's house, ended her son's life, tried to end her husband's life. How about, whoa, skinny green puppies, you're giving him a break. That stopped being a forehead 20 years ago. But yeah, Eric Brandt says this should happen to you in front of your children. But then it shows, yeah, all of these people have tried. This person succeeded. It's like making a threat like this, you have to take it serious. Oh, dear Lord. Who was it? I want to say it was Peg Leg Finance yesterday, day before. He brought up the sovereign citizen who decided it'd be a great idea to just come fully loaded, smoke grenades and everything, run up on the courthouse lawn, throw his smoke, and try to, end everybody inside. It didn't go well for him, but this shit happens. There are crazy people out there who, instead of going, yep, I will take this on the chin, I will take responsibility for my actions, show a Brandt video, they're gold. I came onto the scene like this. I caught this much of Eric Brandt. Free Roy. I think we should all stand in solidarity with Roy. Brant's got the pouty mommy won't buy me McNuggets look. His actions led to having to provide extra patrols to the judge's home. Brant, you know what? Let me do something real quick. Let's stop sharing. Let's go to YouTube. Does he still have a YouTube page? Let me see here. Apparently, Louisiana is passing an anti-frauditor law. Shocker. The people who are fighting for our rights keep taking our rights away. It's weird. What was I going to look up? Eric Brandt. Let's see if he has a channel. The Eric Brandt Show. I believe that is his page. Let's see. I'm going to assume this is his page. Oh, yep, that is this one. Okay, so right off the bat, that is disgusting, Vince. Okay, so the Eric Brandt Show. Let's pull this up on screen. I don't know if it's going to be his actual page or not, but it's got 21,000 subscribers, which means he put out this message to 21,500 people. I mean, obviously, he's got 21,500 subscribers. He's getting less than 1,000 views per video, which isn't good. But that video got put out to that many people, which means even if he didn't get put in jail for it, man, my camera is just trying to focus like a mug right now. Okay. So even if he tries to do all this nonsense, let's bring this up because I thought it was up already. David, what's up? So even if he didn't go to jail, or even if he did, that's thousands and thousands of people that support him that would have heard his message and said, oh, well, if Eric can't do it, maybe somebody else should. I'll volunteer. That's what could happen. So that's what caused extra patrols, yada, yada. And why this judge is probably still looking over their shoulder. Let's see here. Yeah, he's got a bunch of weird shorts. Felony defendant cuts off GPS ankle monitor. Oh, boy. Let me just run through some quick other channels, and we might call it a day already. I just wanted to put that out because I thought it was very, very interesting for people that we normally cover that are always like, oh, just let me see your ID. Oh, let me just see your ID. Oh, hold up. Oh, shit. I just went to Broken System, Broken Trust page. You know what? I'll just bring it up. So this one is Broken System, Broken Trust has been streaming with Paul Unslaved or restreaming for Paul Unslaved. This video is labeled, well, I'll just bring it up. It piqued my interest here. The title is, Where's Paul? Did I see the video DMA just posted? No, I try my best to stay off his page because he angers me. But yeah, so the title of this video is Where's Paul? And the next live stream that happened not long ago is called Paul's Out of Jail. So let's listen to Josh tell us about where Paul is. Because if he's in jail, that's hilarious.
But just wanted to do a real fast live. This isn't going to be long. But anyways, I was planning on restreaming with Paul Unslaved today.
So what Paul does is Paul streams. Josh is sometimes on panel. And like my restream is what I used to stream. It gives me the ability, if I pay $20 a month, I get unlimited stream time. And I can also stream at the same time to like 4 or 5 or 6 other platforms. So I stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Kick all at the same time. So normally Josh will stream with Paul, but Josh will also restream that stream on his own page, which nobody watches.
And haven't seen or heard from him. And I don't know. He sounds his broadcast on a 500 broadcasting state. So it's very odd that Paul is. I'm sure there's nothing wrong, but if anybody heard from him, will you feel free to email me and let me know? That's Paul Unslaved. Had an interaction, I believe it was from yesterday, and we covered it yesterday. So I'm hoping nothing else happened from that. But all I can do is speculate. What's up, Sovereign Dirt? Thanks for being in.
Okay, hold up. Now I got to dig. So as you guys know, I don't really go to Josh's page anymore because it's kind of trash at this point. He just restreams Paul. Okay, so... Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to watch this. Yeah, absolutely, we're going to watch this. So he's going to go what seems to be full sovereign citizen at the beginning of his live stream. We're going to watch this. Is he using the Wendy's Wi-Fi? Yeah, it turns out he can't get the Wi-Fi correctly from behind the dumpster where he makes his money. So we're going to watch this. This is going to be Paul Unslaved talking to two officers in the most sovereign citizen way possible.
Politic and for statute, policy, and code and corporate procedure, rather than common law, common sense, common conversation. You know, so that's all I'm here to represent. This is here. You're here to represent whatever it is you believe.
Are you shooting in the same direction?
Absolutely. That's just what I told her. I have common sense. I'm not out here causing problems. I get that you guys got other shit to deal with, right? I'm shooting into the back of a fucking mountainside. I don't even kill animals, bro. I don't even eat meat. You know, so you know it's important to me, right? It's important to me because I realize like what makes this country great, and seemingly over the last 4 years, you know, with the C-19 and all that, right? They give us issues on the YouTube for talking about that shit. So yeah, man.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, you get what.
So a couple times here, for whatever reason, I guess the phone had issues. She was recording. I wasn't really prepared for that. She kind of just started recording. There's a couple times it cuts out, but right there, he wound up leaving with them. It continues on a little bit. He wound up leaving with them, and then he wound up coming back on his own and having a more extended conversation or monologue, as always, right? I gave him a speech pretty much like I do with a lot of folks, apparently. But yeah, he just kind of came back on his own and wanted to kind of talk to me more and seemed that he was like, you know, really into the spirit and the energy and understanding of what I was putting forth. So I guess that's a good sign moving forward.
Yeah, he went to go investigate a sovereign citizen living in his area.
Yeah, you know, so with the last 4 years and everything else, it's kind of become apparent to me and a lot of folks who
And with the bad quality camera, this looks like, oh my God, what am I? I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy from Tremors. The guy from Tremors that was married to what was Reba? When they had their little bunker, that's who this guy reminds me of. This sheriff or city officer with that mustache and that haircut and the way he's wearing his hat. He reminds me of the guy from fucking Tremors.
I have as an audience that we had something great and we're losing it because of this idea of policy, code, safety, right? And just the implication that agents and agency have rights, more rights and abilities than the men and women they serve, right? Like in a lot of these cities and suburbs, you'll see, you know, cops carrying guns, you know, pretty much doing whatever they want to do. And then the average person can't even have a gun. Where I'm from, New York, originally, right? So we can't even have guns without being criminalized. But you got agents and agencies running around, oftentimes causing loss, injury, and harm, taking people's rights, you know, and they don't get it. That it's going to be their undoing, right? It's going to be the undoing of them.
It must be terrific to live in fantasy land like Paul. It must be great. Oh yeah, people aren't allowed to have guns, but the officers are running around with the guns causing all of these things. It's like, no. Like, this is the way I look at it. Okay. You, as a random person on the streets of New York who is carrying an illegal firearm and shooting at the police, anything happens after you shooting at the police is caused by that person shooting at the police. So the officers aren't causing anything. That person is causing everything. If a officer was just driving down the middle of the road at 80 miles an hour and crash into a busload of kids, sure, that would be causing problems because that officer did that on his own. If a criminal does something and the police respond, everything stems from that criminal act. And yeah, for some reason, Paul just described that the cops shouldn't have guns but thinks everybody should be carrying guns, but the cops shouldn't. Like, that doesn't make any logical sense.
The guy down there says, you can see it in his body language. Well, I didn't get it on camera, but he actually came back and he said to me, he goes, "You got me, bro." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You got me with the reasonable articulable suspicion and the idea of no loss, injury, or harm, or a claimant on the other side." I go, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing." I go, "I do this all day, every day." I go, "You got the right one with me." You know, you can't come up and trespass on someone's property to do an investigation and then claim that you have no lawful reason to be there and that you have no action.
Shots fired turns out is a reasonable reason to go on someone's property, especially if a neighbor's like, "Yes, they're shooting everywhere, blah blah blah, they're shooting at my house." Yeah, that's legal. Sorry.
Offense, right? So, you know, I go, "You guys are sheriffs, man. Like, you guys got to know this. You just can't take this shit for granted. You know, it's not about whether I'm being as nice, kind, and polite as I could be. You need to know your fucking job and what you're doing here and the law of this land. You guys are going to get yourselves fucking killed or someone else killed, or you're going to get all of our rights and freedom taken away or given away."
And again, I didn't show, but I read off the frauditor troll where, what was it? Louisiana is now hitting frauditors. And it's like, no, you say cops are going to take away the rights. It's like, well, from the outside looking in, it seems like frauditors and sovereign citizens are the ones doing that. We are going to, let's see here. Yeah, I don't really particularly want to watch fucking Alvin the Chipmunk, aka Paul Unslaved, talk too much. So we're going to stop this. We're going to jump back to Broken System, Broken Trust. It says Paul is free from jail. It's an hour and 38 minutes. We're not going to listen to that. Oh, God. Okay, we're just going to listen to this little bit here. I don't know where he's going to talk about. This is another thing that, again, Broken System, Broken Trust will restream Paul's nonsense without actually being there, which is strange.
To kind of check my ego and pride, right? You know, smarten up, kid. You're going to get yourself in trouble.
And if you notice, he changed his name to Paulie DeCastro. Ignore codes. I wonder how he feels about statutes, which, if you look at the definition of statutes, they're also laws. But whatever.
He barely went like this. Barely even touched me. You know, the only thing hurt is your pride and ego at that point. And what are they going to think if someone's seen it? Well, shouldn't have been fucking in everyone else's business. Shouldn't have been taking people's shit and doing stupid shit. If you want to look at it, I'm lucky I got off with that. There's nothing stopping him from saying no problem. And then waiting if he wanted to throw everything away like a lot of folks do and go get a knife and put it in me while I'm sleeping for taking his shit. And part of the reason, you know, is because, part of the reason he probably didn't go off on me and make it a whole big thing and fuck up all of our time is because he didn't want to do more time and he realized that I was wrong and copped to it. At that point, what are you going to do? You know, I said to him, "Hey, bro, I didn't think of it that way. When we go out on detail, I'll pick up tobacco or whatever and get it back to you some way, somehow, you know, or I'll compensate you for it. I'll give you commissary." Because again, if a man comes to you and says, "This is, you should have known better," not do that. It's essentially a capital offense in a place like this. You stole from someone. You acted like you didn't know how it got there. Right. And then, if you don't want to cop to it and insult their intelligence and not be willing to make right on it, yeah, then someone's going to fucking go off on you. You know, the same way I kind of do here with people audibly. That makes sense.
Okay, so, oh God, what is his name? I think Dummy Kruger covered him, or maybe Van Balian covered him a long, long time ago. It was this an older gentleman. Let's call him an older gentleman. He was living in a shit shack remarkably similar to Paul, and he was running a website from his old recliner in this shit shack selling sovereign citizen nonsense, an overpriced dash cam with an overpriced memory card, a The fake plates, the fake paperwork. That's what it looks like. It's looked like Paul and him just switched spots. He's the soft sit Harry Potter streaming from under the cupboard, under the stairs. Yes, 1000%. Oh, God. I don't know how much more of this I'm willing to listen to.
Sense. But if you just say, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. It was probably short-sighted of me and selfish. It was stupid. I'll get it back to you, whether I got to compensate you and pay you for the shit, whatever we decide it's worth, you know, depending on how many cigarettes it was and what that shit goes for at the time. You know, then we work that out as men. That's just being equitable and trustworthy and honorable. And him doing that to me is kind of like, bro, I'm letting you know that in this game, if you're going to be coming back to jail, if you plan on it, right? Not that anybody plans on it. You better have some fucking self-awareness, self-control.
I don't plan on going to jail. I think most people plan on not going to jail because most people statistically don't go to jail.
Some respect for self and others, and you better watch what the fuck you do, right? Because that shit doesn't fly there. That's the bottom line. Everyone knows that. What's going on, Josh?
Greetings, Paul.
Greetings.
How's my audio?
Seems to be good.
Okay, no,
What do you got to
that's
report,
fine.
man? What's the most pressing matter for you at this time?
The most pressing matter for me is I was trying to figure out if you learned anything from going to jail. Did you learn your lesson this time?
I don't learn much at this point. I'm reminded of things often. Does that make sense? There's not much that I really actively am learning lately. It's more just reminded, you know, constantly reminded and remembering that certain things are available, brothers and sisters, like Mr. Talcott
It
says.
looks like he does live in the woods, yeah.
Well, as soon as I saw you go live, I was relieved and very pleased that I saw you.
Body cringe.
So that was a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, it's almost become learning is a detriment. Like the Tao says, the average man grows in size, not wisdom. Knowledge only cleaves his head. You know, he's like an ox. Grows in size, not wisdom, and the information and the quote-unquote knowledge only cleaves his head. At a certain point, it just becomes look and see.
How is this allowed on YouTube? Like, I understand everyone has a First Amendment right. But at what point are you just talking out of your ass trying to gain some sort of relevance? Like, at least when I talk, it's about something factually or legally accurate. When Paul talks, it's just, man, I've memorized a handful of weird quotes that make me seem like some sort of pseudo-intellectual. And when your audience is someone as dumb as Josh, like, that flies.
You know, listen and hear with the heart, feel, speak the truth, live the truth, surrender the rest. Pretty simple. That's why Slow State laughs when I go, I'm a pretty simple man, as if that's a negative thing or a bad thing, right? To be a simple man, I'm pretty sure there's a song about that. So
I believe the quote is, I think I used this in one of my videos the other day, you can't change your friends, but you can change your friends. See these people streaming with Paul and Josh? They need to change their friends because their friends are going to be like an anchor and drag them down.
So yeah, I use common sense, right? I live within my means. I do the next right thing. I stand on what I say. I live my information, and I surrender the rest. I thought that that's what made a man great, was the simplicity of it. You overcomplicate the rest of the shit. You know, you water it down. That's why policy. You got 10,000 policies to avoid being a simple motherfucking man or woman. That's why the Constitution said these things are self-evident. Are they really? Are a lot of these things that are common sense self-evident, that we have a right to pursue happiness and do pretty much whatever we want? Absolutely.
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what he's going to keep saying.
Loss, injury, and harm, or debt unpaid.
So that's not how that works. Injury or harm. If you don't cause injury or harm, it's okay. I'll take you to my video from 5:30 today. The guy was going 98 miles an hour in a truck on the highway, towing a trailer, bobbing and weaving out of traffic. Yeah, that shouldn't be legal. And to think that should be legal makes you simple. If you want to live a simple life, I think everybody wants to live a simple life, which is fine. But you shouldn't be simple when it comes to knowledge. And it seems like this guy's just trying to get away with anything It reminds me of Mirrors 420. 2 convictions for DUI, but because he didn't hurt anybody, he doesn't think it should matter. And it's like, no, but you could have hurt someone because you're doing something to impair your driving to the point where anything is possible. Yeah, I think Timmy, he doesn't seem like, he doesn't seem like a Mensa candidate.
You know, obviously not. Quite the opposite. All right, let me move on here. You guys got anything? Speak up. We never got back to it. See, this is why I don't play him. I cut off Chile DeCastro and started talking. I forgot where I was. That's the weed that does that too.
God
It's
damn it,
my
Paul.
Alzheimer's. Yeah, God damn it, Paul. Exactly. Talcott was right again. Talcott, like I got into a full Talcott experience while I was in there. Right, like I went into full Talcott merge inside the cell. And I go, oh my God, I'm starting to see what Jack Talcott was saying, that there's nothing to do right now. Nothing can be done. You know, just like the house. Who cares about paying the bill? Cares about working? Cares about any of it? It's not even real, man. Right? It's like almost like Jack Talcott's been a prisoner this whole time and has learned.
Okay, we're going to stop this because this is absolute nonsense. You don't think you should have to pay for your house because it's not real. Well, I'm pretty sure in a thunderstorm, you're going to realize how real your house is. Blame the weed, yeah. Oh, God. So I don't think he disagrees with Chili. I think what he's mad about is that he's not Chili. That people don't just come to his page, believe everything he says with a trust me, bro, and then give him money for doing nothing. I think he's jealous of Chili, honestly. These anarchy-seeking people are the first to demand their rights and help when they are in trouble. 1,000%. 1,000%. Everybody wants to handle everything like a man and not be in everybody's business. But I'm pretty sure if somebody says, hey, Paul, I have a problem with you, beat the brakes off of him, he'd be the first people to be like, police? Hello? I believe that 100%. And this is the future of our nation. Yeah, it's... Some of the people like this give people like... I don't want to say people like me. I wish me and Mrs. KFARR want nothing more than to sell this house and move to the middle of nowhere with 40 or 50 acres and not see another living soul for the rest of my life. But people like Paul make us look bad because if we do that, people are going to be like, oh, you're crazy. Like not, oh, you're crazy for thinking like, no, you're crazy because you think like Paul. And it's like, no, I'm a normal person that just wants to live by myself, not be a knockoff Andrew Tate Chili wannabe from a shit shack. Oh God, but yeah. All right, we're gonna hop off here because I can't do this anymore. Listening to Paul, a broken system, broken trust. Oh God. All right, everybody have a good rest of your day. He'll be running from the metaphorical Kate Peters to the cop. 1,000%. Paul is Andrew Tate if Tate was poor. Yes, 1,000%. All right, yeah. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Be safe. I might have a video out tomorrow. I might not. I don't know. It depends how I'm feeling. Oh, God. All right. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Bye.